By the power of the stars. What must be done? No one expects the banana.
Soraka, the one version of a unicorn-human hybrid that you wouldn't jack off to. Soraka is known for pretty much one thing, and no, that's not Flash silencing the Zed as he comes out of his ult so he can not only not kill your mid laner, but he can't jump back to his ult shadow and is forced to stay under the turret where he's gonna get CC'd by Varus ult and die. No. She is known for something much higher tier. She gives her own HP to others because they're too fucking stupid to not get hit. Soraka has for quite some time been a frequent ban throughout competitive play for her annoying as fuck ability to keep their AD carry alive and her second ability of being targeted by no one on your team. But was she always an HP slave? Was there ever a time where she could do more or maybe less? Maybe she literally did nothing at some point. Find out on today's episode of how OP League used to be. As a small disclaimer, I apologize if any of the background gameplay is a little bit boring. Getting decent footage on a champion designed to do absolutely nothing mechanically skillful or impressive is fucking ridiculously hard. Anyways, Soraka has been trotting on the Rift for quite some time, actually since the beginning of time, which means welcome to the League of Legends OG Champion Spotlight featuring Soraka, Mr. Tumnus' stepsister. Kicking things off with Soraka's first passive, Consecration. Insert shitty Hearthstone joke here. I re-downloaded Hearthstone just for this fucking joke. I actually don't know 100% what this ability did. Most people remember Consecration as a flat magic resist aura that was pretty underwhelming the later the game went, but for a short time beforehand it did something a little bit different. I looked around for quite some time and couldn't find the exact words from the ability itself, but from the patch notes, it looks as if it buffed all of her other abilities at some time, like reducing the cooldown reduction of an ability, or doing more damage with another, or increasing the duration of an overtime heal. I would think it would work something like Lissandra and Karma's passive combined, where every few seconds one of your abilities would be buffed. There's no really telling if this ability was busted or not, because like if it gave cooldown reduction of like 6 seconds, yeah, that's pretty fucking disgusting, but it also could just give cooldown reduction of 1 second, which would be a pretty much useless passive. Soraka's Q was Star Call, and ooh, this was the bread and butter of AP Soraka. I mean, also because at the time, that was the only ability that Soraka dealt damage with. Anyone in a short radius around Soraka would literally have a star dropped on their head in a very underwhelming fashion. This ability had a short cooldown and would reduce the magic resist of her target by 10, stacking up to 20 times. Most people only come to lane with like 30 or so magic resist. You hit 3 Qs and you're dealing true damage. Not to mention that late game, just stand in the middle of their team and start shredding away. All of a sudden your Cog is dealing 8% of their HP in true damage every single auto attack. Yeah, that's fair. As a final note, this ability wouldn't be castable unless someone was within your range, and I actually hate abilities like this. Just let me waste my mana for being a complete fucking idiot. Let me blow my Katarina ult for being a fuck up like my parents keep telling me I am.
Deja vu, I've just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go.
The only mechanical skill this adds to the game is telling if someone invisible is next to you, and other than that, and even with that, it honestly felt like cheating. Moving on to Soraka's W, this ability was called Astral Blessing. This was a 16-second overtime heal that also gave MR and armor. Keep in mind that this could be casted on yourself. So 16 seconds plus an additional 6 seconds from your passive, the only number that I could actually find from her passive, healing 46 HP every 2 seconds is 506 damage plus a 30 armor and 20 MR buff. Early game, the heal buff wasn't as good, but the resistance buff was the same at all levels, and 30 armor in bot lane is pretty fucking huge. Like, more massive than the egos being thrown around in all this YouTube drama. Please don't expose me, Leafy. Alright, now onto Soraka's E, Infuse. Do you ever have a really poor idea, but at the time you think it's a really good idea, you know, maybe because you're a little bit intoxicated or some shit?
Booty hole flavored blunt wraps!
I feel like someone at Riot just had a poor idea like this. Like, Soraka was designed to be this massively resource-focused support, giving her team all they need, right? HP, resistances, shred their enemy team so you can deal more damage, and Infuse gave mana to your team for free. But that's not the bullshit part. The bullshit part is that she could give mana to herself at no cost. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. You can't give yourself your own energy resource at no cost. Bill Nye would be so fucking upset with your shitty sciencing.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
Last on the list, Soraka's ult, Wish. It was basically the same as it is today, giving HP to everyone on the map. Compared to Wish today, though, it was a lot better. Today's Wish heals for 350 base plus a 55% AP ratio. Pretty good for global heal, right? Originally, though, it healed for 450 plus 200% of your AP. It's quite a bit more. The downside to it, though, is it costs 450 mana, which I guess isn't too bad, though, when you could give yourself 250 mana whenever you fucking felt like it. In laning phase, give yourself some mana and kill yourself. Thank you for watching this week's OG Champion Spotlight. Tune into my stream every Wednesday for fan games and the occasional appearance of my nipples. So what came first on the timeline of Soraka changes? Well, very quickly her passive got changed to the shitty flat magic resist aura as her W lost the magic resist buff. This change is just about as insignificant as the time you went to McDonald's and got your 2 normal Big Macs and a side order of nuggets, but decided not to get a soda because you thought it was time to start that diet. The next big change occurred between September and October of 2009 when Soraka was given a silence on her E when using on enemies, and then later added a damage effect as well. Keep in mind, this shit was still for free. You could be dealing upwards of 1k damage for no cost, like instantly. That's even more broken. It was instant, right? No ability to dodge, no travel time to be able to use a spell shield or some shit, just massive fucking damage if you build the AP with a 3-second silence attached. Fuck Kassadin, this shit is busted. And you're probably wondering how this could get any worse. Well, it actually is Riot Games, so it really should come as no surprise when it's always worse. You see, in December of that same year, Soraka's heal was changed from a heal over time to a flat heal of 300 with a 1-to-1 scaling ratio. The only thing she really lacked at this point was a good gap closer. If you built her AP, she could kite with a Q and a Rylai's, could silence someone so they couldn't gap close on them, could consistently heal herself and give herself mana to sustain all of the necessary resources in lane, and if the gold game wasn't going as well as you wanted it to, just smack that ult for some free assists. Like, it's the all-in-one full package deal of bullshit. It took Riot until 2012 to realize that giving yourself free mana was maybe a little bit busted, and they took that shit away. But it didn't take them long to completely boost her up again. In 2014, she was given a new passive, Salvation. This spell made her regenning spells give more resources the lower her target was, again, including herself. They also made her magic resist penetration on her Q scale, which made it worse in the early game, but better in the late game. They also made it so if you landed your Q, it would reduce your W by 10% cooldown. On top of that, they made the armor buff on her W scale with AP as well. On top of that, they made her E scale with mana, and we all know how mana scaling champions go. This shit was so broken that in the NA Spring Split playoffs, CLG played her in the first game mid on Link, right? Link, not the most consistent mid laner that's ever been in NA or anywhere, right? They bopped the shit out of Coast, and then it was banned for 17 games in a row. And guess how many more games there were in the tournament after that CLG game? 17. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Fucking mind blown. The only thing that Riot figured they could do to fix her was to just fucking rework her a few months later into the rapid fire heal bot that she is today. Soraka didn't come with a lot of bugs like most champions, surprisingly, but there was an interesting change in her history. Soraka used to be able to cast her E, Infuse, the one that gives mana to minions. The things that don't have mana. Like if you misclicked, you were fucked for like 12 seconds. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. How OP do you think Soraka was? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour live stream very soon, so follow my Twitter and Twitch for the updates on when it will be. I will put out a video on the channel, on the YouTube channel, when it's actually happening. But if you want to like plan for it, so you can like 24-hour run it with me. Woo! Don't do that. You'll kill yourself. Okay, I'm going to die. I also have a fairly small Discord if you want to come out and have a way to talk to me. I'll put the link below to that. I don't really do much with it. It's not massive hangout like Magikarps or Sun Explosions or any of that shit. It's literally just a spot where sometimes I'm there. It's there. You can come talk to me there. I'm getting quieter and quieter. That's it. Toodles.
Deja vu, I just been in this place